and the housing market is insane. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another video where I share everyday living while on a budget. If you want to hear about our journey to home ownership and why it took 5 years, then stay tuned. You heard right. It took us 5 years to purchase a home, and here's why. Before my husband and I decided to become homeowners, we were apartment dwellers. And while we were apartment dwellers, we had saved up a little bit of money, so that's when we embarked on this journey to home ownership. What we intended to do was to purchase our starter home, and that would entail us getting a fixer-upper that we could later rent out and then go and purchase another home. And the process was a little bit more daunting than what I had expected. Unbeknownst to me, the housing market and that journey was nothing like it appeared on television, okay? There's this one channel on television that makes you think, hey, we can go in here, kind of lowball these people, get the home of your dreams, and essentially walking away with your dream home. Well, the process was nothing like that. Well, for those of you that don't know, I live in the DFW area, and the housing market is insane. Okay, so when we started out, we began to look at homes, and off the bat we were getting outbidded. One of them didn't want us to use a certain lender. Then we had one that on the disclosure form they say the yard had flooded, and then lo and behold the house flooded. So yes, so it was like one thing after another. And then on top of that, you know, me, her is I did not have a realistic expectation of the housing market, so I was not willing to be very competitive when placing in my bid for a home because I wasn't educated at the time. I think it was best that we save up some more money, because when we started this process, honestly, we didn't even have the 20% that they would recommend that you put down. Though we had an emergency fund, we were not financially prepared to launch into taking on the purchase of a new home. Now we needed to take a step back, look at what we can potentially afford within that price range. The amount of money that we needed to purchase a home just kept increasing. So it was like the prices was going up and the square footage was going down according to what we could be able to afford with paying cash. What we decided to do is instead look at financing it and putting down a significant deposit. So what that will require us to do is to save up money for an emergency fund. We would need to save up to furnish the house, because now we're going to be going from an apartment, smaller apartment, to a home. And then on top of that, to save up a significant amount to put down for a down payment. During that time, we were already debt free when we decided to purchase a home. On top of us being debt free, we made sure that we kept our living expenses extremely low. Our standard of living did not increase with our income. And when I say extremely low, like we were able to pay all of our bills on one person's income and then save the other income so that we would be able to afford a home. We started out with our realtors and we told them, hey, we're not prepared to buy a home. And we kind of felt bad because they were so hands-on. It was a lot for a realtor to do, and I know it's their job and the payoff is great when they sell a home, but the process when you don't sell a home, you know, like it's time consuming. So my husband was like, hey, we're not ready right now, but when we are ready, we will definitely call you back. Now, when we made that statement, we didn't know it was going to take us 5 years to come back, but we kept our promise and we did just that. So when we decided to go back and start looking, the houses were crazy expensive. Now I'm a little bit more educated. I know that what I saw on TV was not realistic. And not only that, but in order to put in a competitive bid, we need to give more than the asking price. More than the asking price. And I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I'm not trying to lowball you, but I'm gonna offer you the asking price, and I'm hoping that you're gonna accept our offer. Well, out of the gate, we did it, and the seller did not even respond to our offer at all. By the time we did find something we were interested in, the house has only been on the market 2 or 3 days. Whoop, it's gone. Literally, like the houses were flying off of the market. At that time, my realtor said, well, listen, if you don't want to go through the hustle and bustle because it's such a competitive market right now, and the houses are not staying on the market long, what I would encourage you to do is look at a new build. Like I said, the housing market was booming, so we had intended on paying cash for this house, but because the prices was not giving, we had to give and settle on financing a home. And once we made that decision to go ahead and move forward with financing a home, we found the new build and we signed our contract. That is when we landed here, and I'll show you a couple of pictures of the process of us building this home. This is everyday living on a budget. I know it may sound cheesy, but I'm sharing this because this is truly everyday living on a budget. We were living tight on a budget, and it was okay because it paid off, and we ended up finding a beautiful property in a wonderful neighborhood. And part of that is thanks to the builders, our sales agent, realtor. Like, it was an amazing process. But never let anyone discourage you on your journey, because while we were going through this process of saving, I started seeing so many people purchasing homes. I know people don't want to openly admit that when they become envious, okay? But the truth is, that's where I was, because I was so ready to purchase a home, but I wasn't ready to pull the trigger because we weren't there financially, that I began to watch other people's journey and then be able to second guess mine. And now that we've gone through the process, what I'm here to tell you is, whatever plan that you have to get to where you're trying to go, stick with it. Keep your eye on your prize and in your lane, because you don't know what other people are having to go through or what they went through behind closed doors to get to where they are. Because certainly for us, this has been a journey to getting to home ownership. It's been 5 years. It took us all of 5 years to get here, and we still had to finance even after saving, you know, the way that we've had to save. But if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. Okay, keep pushing because it's worth it. As always, y'all, thank you for tuning into my channel. I hope you enjoy the content. If you did, make sure you subscribe to the channel. As always, I love you and God bless.